into this plant after 34 years, I was absolutely stunned to see that it was just the same. Oh wow, the old reception area, curved desk, the wood panelling, it's just the same. Absolutely remarkable. The first Volkswagen Beetles were built in this plant, and then we went on from there to become a contract assembly. Because of the production facility that we had, we could build more than just the licensed number of Volkswagens that were available to us. And so that led on to other brands over time, and that kept the plant running with a workforce that varied between 300 and 550. Wow, this is the original carpet that I bought in 1969. The boss said, go and get some decent carpet. So it was theatre quality, and it still looks okay. It probably needs dry cleaning. Oh, this was the original cubby holes for Robin Vernon was in charge of Zeta tractors. Colin French was in charge of Mazda. I forget what I was doing in charge of Volkswagen. We all sat here at our desks, the most amazing amalgam of different marks. We moved into this plant with the Beetle in 1960, and over the years we did Peugeot 403, 404, we did the Rambler, Studebaker Lark, we did the Simca 1000, Skoda 1000MB, Mazda 808, RX3, RX2, Fiat 500s, Fiat 125, Fiat 850, Fiat 1100T van, we did the Vauxhall Viva and the Trekka. Yeah, a very, very long list of cars. We were required by the government at the time to include 40% of local content. So for all those different cars, we had to have 40% of local componentry, which meant battery, tyres, glass, interior trim, that's the carpets, the upholstery, the seat upholstery, all of those sort of things had to be manufactured for those particular models. And we were in low run production. We would build 300 of a type, and then the whole plant would change over and build 120 Fiat 500s, and then we'd change over again and build 60 National Ramblers. And so the variety was always on, and then on the side of that we had to keep the Volkswagen Beetle production going. This is the canteen, not quite as I remember it, but quite large when it's empty. 200 people odd having lunch here, 300 in shifts. This was a manual assembly plant. There was no automation here. When I look at all the overhead gantries and everything here, I remember the size of the spot guns for welding. These were huge guns that the men had to manipulate over their shoulder with all of the gas supplies. There were no counterweights or counterbalances. They had to lift these things. It was a buzz of activity, noisy. You can imagine with just this concrete floor and the welding guns going off and the clatter of parts and all the rest of it. So there was a general hubbub and energy about the place. I'd say one thing that identified it when you walked in was the energy level, and that was a good sign that the heart was beating of the place. The Trekka, and of course it got huge government support, because here was going to be a New Zealand-produced light commercial vehicle. Of course, the Czechs were very excited, and we even had the opportunity of starting export. We exported the second or third 100. I went to Indonesia, bought by the Indonesian government. So yes, it was very exciting times. 1972. This was my office. Yes, a room with a view. Why there's a Citroen poster on the wall, I don't know. We never did Citroens. We knew when the government changed the import tariff to allow the importation of fully built up cars, and particularly used cars from Japan, we knew that the writing was on the wall. All the assembly plants had to face the fact that the government had made the decision to free up the market, and that was ultimately going to lead to the closure of all of the assembly plants. I couldn't have imagined what the plant looked like empty. My memories of it was that it was full of everything, engineering and cars and jigs and trolleys and people. And so, yes, it was quite a moment for me, because I first started here in 1960, so that's 58 years ago.